Huh?
How's family?
Good.
Family is good.
There's water.
Yeah. Give me money. Hey, what till you bring come?
Huh?
What till you bring come? I say, what till you bring come? What you want give me? Hey, wait till now, what you want give me? Oh, yeah, give me something. Oh, yeah, give me something now. Give me something.
You give me something.
Yeah. Give me money. Money. Money.
Money. Why?
Give me.
Why?
Money. Oh, Onda. Money. Efiole. Owó jáde. Okay, Kenny. Okay, Kenny. Ẹ sì bá sọ fún. Money.
You're welcome.
Give you what?
Give me anything.
Give you anything?
Show me love.
Show you love? What the fuck is you saying? What? Money? Y'all take US dollars? Bruh.
As a Nigerian, I've always wondered why so many people are somewhat hostile towards us as a group. At first, like most Nigerians, I thought it was down to jealousy, elements of being envious of our so-called success in global markets, dominating in Africa, for example. But some years ago, I don't know how it happened, I just had to humble myself and take a critical look at Nigerian people as a group, as a nation state, its history, its achievements, my own family. And to be honest, it opened my eyes to a few things. So recently, ishowspeed, who is probably the most successful, biggest YouTuber on the platform to date, he did a tour going all around Africa, and he eventually reached Nigeria, where he celebrated his 50,000th subscriber on his 21st birthday. But the reality of that visit was that it exposed many aspects, many negative facets of the Nigerian culture. And he was in Lagos, so we could say it's a Yoruba thing, but I think it's probably a broader Nigerian aspect of the culture, where he was victim to a lot of begging. Okay, now most of my family are in Nigeria, okay, but the family that are here in the UK tell me that if I want to go to Nigeria, I need to go with family members that know how to handle these type of situations. And these situations meaning as soon as you land, people begging in the airport, people trying to force jobs on you so they can get payment, you know, doing favors for you without asking and in hope of you paying them. Police bribes, police stopping you and wanting money, just as you saw in this video. You know, what hit me the most is that while my family members will tell me to do this, take these precautions, none of them ever suggested to figure out solutions for this problem. Why is this happening? How can we stop this? It's something that we just seem to think is normal. And this is why it seems to be more of a cultural thing, a cultural aspect. Recently, I've been very critical of Nigerians in general, because I think, like most people around the world, most black people around the world want to see Nigeria prosper. They want Nigeria to be that, you know, that hub, that superpower, the Dubai of Africa, where we use our vast resources to make a utopia for black people, right? People in the diaspora who want to re-engage with Africa, they can come to Nigeria and have something of a second world living standard, right? We all want Nigeria to do good. Again, many people in the diaspora will have roots in the Nigeria region. Many people from the slave trade came from that region. So many people, I think, look kind of fondly at Nigeria. But the reality is that Nigeria is not in a good state. Nigeria is not healthy. And Nigeria is going to have a population boom. And that is not a good thing, because currently resources are thin and the population are, exist on a meager wage. But I've been very vocal of a few facets that I have experienced and seen within the Nigerian culture, and that includes family abuse, whether that's physical or mental abuse, emotional abuse. We have elders who are revered as if they were gods, and so this means that these elders don't really respect the youth. They don't know how to transition and hand down power. They don't have faith in the youth. So you've got a lot of old people, a lot of old presidents and prime ministers, a lot of old leaders leading people well into their old age. And I think we've got elements of a cultural corruption. And what I mean by that is this hyper-materialistic aspect where we want to drive the biggest cars, we want to get all the name brands, we want to look good all the time while we hide poverty. People want to look good, go church, go to parties, but at home they can barely pay the bills per month. We got corruption in religion, people using the Bible to facilitate their bad thoughts. Again, more abuse. I've always looked at for stuff such as when you're spraying women who are dancing in the club with dollar or pound notes. That looks seedy to me, especially coming from people who believe they're Christians or Muslims. It looks like something you see in a strip bar. And again, the reason why I bring these things up is because we need to evolve. We need to progress. And I think for a certain level of progression, there needs to be somewhat of a revolution in the culture, in the way we think, in our mindsets. Again, going back to that ishowspeed trip, you can also see a lot of aggressive behaviors in a typical Nigerian. And again, this is one of our negative stereotypes, that we're loud and abrasive and aggressive. And he showed, like clockwork, it was shown in his video. Loud, angry looking people. And the funny thing, I remember a stat, which I might bring up on the screen some years ago, is that in the entirety of Nigeria, there are only but a few mental health professions in that country. So I think it was something like a couple thousand mental health professionals. And obviously there are many million people in Nigeria. So that means mental conditions can fester without being treated. People running around with bipolar, narcissism, ADHD, it will just be seen as normal in the culture, when really that is an ailment that is making them act in a very flippant manner. And I really believe that is true. Okay, so I just want to go through 10 things, 10 reasons why we might just be the problem, 10 reasons why we Nigerians just might be the problem. And look, I know many Nigerians listen to this will not like to hear this. You might call me a bounty. I hate myself. No, look, I'm very honest online. I think there is no point coming onto YouTube talking about this stuff if you're not going to be very honest. I come from a proud lineage. I'm a descendant of chieftains on both sides of my family. I'm very proud of my father. Some of my childhood memories is my mum playing, Nigerian church music in the mornings and Nigerian food. I still eat pounded yam and jollof rice and all of that. I recognize in my own physique, for example, that, this is the result of probably the Nigerian food, certain natural gifts that I've been blessed with, fast twitch muscle fibers. I'm proud of all of that. I sincerely do not hate the culture of myself, but I recognize, again, that there are elements of corruption in the culture, and that's what needs to be fixed. But the problem with our mindset is that when anyone comes out to talk against the culture, we are told that we hate ourselves. You know, we are told that we are putting our people down, quote unquote, and that's weak. Men especially are supposed to build the culture and destroy the culture where needed and rebuild it back up again. You know? But it's such a shame that we have allowed ourselves to live in such filth, metaphorically and literally. Look at the dirt roads in Nigeria. Look at all the bumps. Didn't Anthony Joshua just had a fatal collision and there was no ambulance to service him? Like, this is not something to be proud of. This is not something that can be tolerated. You know, you can't be going back to Nigeria and you have people begging you. You want to bring some foreigners to Nigeria and you've already got people begging for money. And in the case of seeing ishowspeed, that was embarrassing because ishowspeed is a kid. You got grown men begging for money. Like, this is a disgrace. This is nothing to be proud of. And this needs to be exposed by Nigerians. Because in the West, you complain about racism and we have to deal and suffer with racism and microaggressions and all of that. But we have to suffer because back home, it's not working for us. What we need to do is fix our issue, not pretend that they don't exist and not hide and not embrace a rotten culture. Because right now, the culture is rotten. It might hurt your tender feelings to hear that, but that's the truth. The culture is rotten and it shows in our personalities. Again, going back to some of the points, like familial abuse, many Nigerians, and look, and the sad thing is many Nigerians also have Stockholm syndrome. But many Nigerians will tell you that when they was growing up, they got severe beatings from their parents. Many Nigerians succumb to emotional abuse, manipulation, threats. This is not normal because you just offset your own trauma onto your next onto your next of kin. So many of us grow up and we don't function properly in a society. We have severe emotional traumas, just like PTSD. Many women can't find a mate because they are hardened emotionally, hard. Many men can't find a mate because they're not stable. They are avoidant. And that is the relationship type or style that they had growing up, an avoidant relationship style. They didn't feel safe with their parents who were beating them. You know, we really need to educate ourselves on the severity of these impacts, how it affects our lives, because you can't change these things that have happened. So many Nigerians are walking away with severe trauma in their head. Can't engage in relationships, can't engage in meaningful friendships, can't open up, can't talk. It's a real situation, and I think we are starting to see the results. We're seeing Nigeria not get better. You know, as time goes on, you expect things to just get better. You know, you put the work in now and it gets better over time, but it's very rare you see things decline. And when you see something decline, it means something is not working or something is broken. And we can't just blame government corruption, because even government corruption at that level stems from some sort of cultural corruption that we have come to accept, just like the beggar in the airport or the police bribing. We've come to accept that. So in 2026, I'm hoping that a lot of Nigerians open their mind to the fact that we have severe problems and we need to fix them. There is no time to deal with emotional people that just don't like to be critiqued. No, you are part of the problem and you need to be destroyed. You need to be taken out. People who can't take criticism are no good. And that's what we see in the culture. A lot of Nigerians don't want to be criticized, so they engage in the same destructive foolery. Well, I mean, look, it's up to you guys what you want. Do you want a better Nigeria, a better culture, a better representation, or do you just want the same thing? You know, some boy goes to Nigeria and he shows how bad it is. how lawless it looks. You know, you let me know what you want in the chat.